ask you something really simple. How many times have you started a habit feeling really excited, motivated, feeling confident, and feeling like this time it's different, and then one day, suddenly it just stopped? You didn't quit, you didn't decide anything, you just drifted. And later, almost automatically, you labeled yourself. I'm inconsistent, I have no discipline, or I can't stick to anything. Happens? We're going to discuss about it, but before we go anywhere deeper, if you're new to the channel, this is Kelsang, NLP life coach, and I work with people who genuinely wants to change but still feel stuck repeating the same patterns from inside, right? Most of what I share here, it's not about pushing yourself harder, it's about understanding why some things feel difficult, even when your intentions are genuine. So if you've ever felt frustrated with yourself for not being consistent, then you're in the right place, and stay with me till the end. You see, most people think habits fail because of laziness or lack of willpower. But the real reason is simpler and very less personal. You see, your brain is not designed for change. It is designed for safety. And safety doesn't mean what's healthy or good for the future. It simply means what's familiar. So when you decide things like, I will wake up early, I will exercise, I will eat better, or one part of you is really excited to follow the habit that you've created or the goal that you've set. The other part of you whispers inside your head saying that this is new, this needs energy, this is unfamiliar. And quietly, without any drama, your system slows you down and you forget one day, feel tired, postpone, and say, I will start again next week. So this is not self-sabotage, this is self-protection. Your brain, I want you to remember this, your brain will always choose familiar discomfort over unfamiliar improvement. And that's why people stay in routines that they hate, but they struggle with routines that they want. Interesting, right? And here's something most advice misses. We all have an internal sense of who we are, not what we say, but what we feel. So if inside you somewhere there's this quiet belief which says, I'm inconsistent, I start strong but I don't finish, then any habit that contradicts that identity will feel heavy, even if it's a good habit. So the issue is not the habit here, it's what the habit asks you to become. Let's say if you have learned to survive by being flexible, then rigid routines feel suffocating. If you function best under pressure, your calm consistency feels boring. If you've learned that the results come only through struggle, gentle habits feel ineffective. You see, your system naturally pulls you back to what feels like you. And that's why habits vanish when things feel stable, right? Not because you don't want to change, but because change challenges your identity. And most advice tells you to push harder. Be strict, be disciplined, be consistent. But discipline only works when everything inside you agrees, when there is an alignment. Right? Otherwise, it becomes an internal fight. And your system remembers the fight. Let's say if in the past, if any past habit or attempts were full of pressure, self-criticism, shame, all or nothing thinking, right? Your system recalls that emotional memory. So when you try again, the same emotion resurfaces, and quietly, internally it says, no, we've been there before. And this is why willpower feels unreliable, not because it's weak, but because it's fighting an old emotional memory. So question is, so if force doesn't work, what actually does? How can we make our habits stick? Habits stick when they feel emotionally safe. Your system needs to feel this doesn't threaten who I am. So the real question is not how do I stay consistent? It is how can this feel familiar? How can this feel gentle? And how can this feel like me? So instead of saying, I must exercise every day, you can say, this is just something that I do to reset my mind. Instead of saying, I need a discipline, you can say, I am someone who keeps things simple. Instead of saying, I have failed again, you can say, I return when I drift. Now, these are not just affirmations, they are signals of safety. When safety increases, your resistance decreases. And that's when habits begin to stay, right? Consistency is not who you are. It's a state your system enters when it feels safe enough. And when safety is present, habits flow. When safety is missing, habits collapse. So if you've been struggling with this, sticking to your habits, then I want you to hear this clearly. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you, number one, in the first place, right? And number two is your system has been protecting you all this while. And the moment you stop fighting yourself, change becomes easier and softer and far more sustainable. So whatever I have shared, try to implement all this thing in your daily life and see how you can experience the shift and the change. And if this landed, not just logically, but somewhere deeper, I want you to subscribe to the channel because I share more about how our inner patterns shape our everyday life without force, without shame, without becoming someone that you're not. You see, you don't need to fix yourself. You need to feel safe enough to grow. So subscribe to my channel, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and thank you for taking out time to watch this video, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.